Welcome to Paco the Realtor channel, where I talk about real estate, rents, and other things that can make our life really interesting. Hey guys, this is Paco the Realtor, your friend in real estate, broker, owner, local expert, storyteller. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Today on Taco Tuesday with Paco, I want to talk to you about some of the most common mistakes buyers are making when looking for their dream home. We always talk about, what you got to do to buy your house, credit, pre-qualification, all the obvious stuff, right? But what we're not doing is sometimes we're not talking about the ugly stuff, which is what people are doing that's hurting them. So I figured I'd make a list of that kind of stuff and kind of share it with you guys. So, all right, here we go. So let's assume you've met with your lender. Let's assume you've met with your realtor and you know your numbers now, you're pre-qualified. So we're assuming you've gotten that far. And now you meet with your realtor to prepare for your home search. So that's where I'm gonna pick it up from, right? Okay, step one, being unrealistic with what you want based on what you can afford. We all want the big $1 million home on a, McDonald's budget kind of thing, right? So what you want to do is be realistic. Numbers from the lender dictate what we can afford. And based off what you can afford, you now start looking in the areas where you can be. What a lot of buyers will do is that they will look for something that doesn't exist. They'll be like, well, it's my first home, so I got to find it in the perfect school district with the perfect, and then they start going down the list. And yes, we need goals. But at the end of the day, the problem is we don't want to be unrealistic. Sandy. My dog's chewing on a computer cable. Sandy. No. Stop chewing. We want to be realistic on what we can't afford. So for example, if you can afford $2,500 a month payment, just for example, we'll say in Riverside in a certain area, but you start sending over houses where your payment's going to be $2,600, $2,700, or better yet, Sandy. No. Sorry guys, my dog, my German Shepherd's with me tonight, and she has decided, as you can see, to chew on my computer cables. Do not chew on my computer cables. So one of the common things we run into is, okay, you qualify in a certain area, but you start looking outside the area. And the reason you start looking outside the area is because you come to realize that the house, your ideal dream home in your brain, in your head, doesn't exist in that area. So you start looking for where other places don't exist. And you're kind of psyching yourself out because you shouldn't be looking there to begin with because you can't afford it. So unrealistic expectations. So that's the first mistake people do. The second mistake people do is they come to realize what they can afford, but they start looking for the perfect home. What's up, Nick? Perfect home don't exist, especially for first-time buyers. Not right now. It doesn't even exist for millionaires, guys. The perfect home does not exist. It's either going to have the wrong layout. It's either going to have, not the right backyard. It's going to be the perfect house, but maybe in the wrong neighborhood, or it's going to be the right neighborhood, but it's not going to be the perfect house. So a lot of people say, well, we could take that house and put it in this neighborhood. That would be the ideal house. Well, a lot of times that doesn't exist. So, again, you're setting yourself up for failure. So you're already starting being unrealistic. Fortunately, a lot of what happens is that after we show people a few houses, we bring them to reality so they can see that's their only options, and then people become more realistic. But in the beginning, it is a little challenging, I'm not gonna lie, to set the correct expectation. So that's the second mistake that buyers make. Let's talk about the third mistake that buyers make is they start going and seeing properties that fit the requirements, right price point, right square footage, it meets 90% of their criteria, and then they try to lowball the offer. They try to lowball the offer because they've heard on all these shows that are on TV that's what you do. You lowball the offer. You get it under market. You negotiate. Well, sometimes that's right, but sometimes that's wrong. Because if you are in an area that's high demand, in a price point that's high demand, you don't have that room. So you got to give them what they want. And hopefully the realtor, us, know enough to tell you, hey, buddy, that is not what you want to do. You want to do the right thing, that kind of thing. Hey, thank you so much for watching our videos. I appreciate it. If you really like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be putting out a lot of content on a weekly basis, which will be real estate related and a lot of stuff of just me ranting. So thank you. Remember, subscribe.